Nottingham Forest are the surprise package of the Premier League this season. Sitting third in the Premier League with 47 points after 24 games, UEFA Champions League football is a strong possibility. A club filled with history and success, Nottingham Forest are finally back in the big time, and they're doing it by defining the modern game. In a new era of football where it's all about high intensity, pressing triggers, and the amount of passes you can complete during a 90 minutes, Nottingham Forest have ripped up the scrapbook and are defining all the odds as they sit bottom of the Premier League for possession this season, while also being bottom for passes completed this season. Now, behind every successful club, there's a great man. Welcome, Nuno Espírito Santo. And behind every successful man, there's a beautiful woman. Nana. A talented squad. We're going to be breaking it down, looking at just how Nottingham Forest are defining the new rules of football and becoming one of the most dangerous teams in the Premier League, having given Brentford their first home defeat of the season, winning away to Anfield, and keeping the most clean sheets in the Premier League this season. Nottingham Forest have become one of the most exciting teams to watch without the ball. Let's start with Nuno Espírito Santo, a guy that came to Premier League, took Wolves to European football, and got an opportunity at Tottenham. Things didn't go according to plan, but one man's trash is another man's treasure. In this case, one club's trash is another club's treasure. Welcome to Nottingham Forest. He set up Nottingham Forest to be compact, disciplined, but exciting on the break. So let's look at his defensive shape. Forest like to defend in a mid to low block, usually a 4-2-4, with the two centre midfielders playing a crucial role, acting as a primary shield for the back four, whilst also supporting a minimal press when they do eventually look to win the ball. Now, when we speak about the press in this modern era, it's all about winning the ball, forcing a high turnover to give you the best opportunity of scoring. Not Nottingham Forest. As you can see from this graph, the majority of Nottingham Forest's pressures come deep in their own half. Nottingham Forest are happy to invite pressure on, and they do this for a purpose, and that purpose is to invite pressure on to create space in behind for their spring chicken red arrows to attack. Nottingham Forest's defensive game is defined by relentless energy, extraordinary discipline, and Nuno has a team well organised, compact, with every player contributing to their duties. Now, it's fascinating how they set up when defended, and it all depends on where the ball is situated on the pitch. If the ball is high and away from Forest's goal, they'll set up looking to defend space, cutting out passing lanes, with their two centre midfielders sitting in front of the opponent's strikers. By doing this, it cuts out any opportunity for the opponents to build up attacks, forces them to go long, and this allows Nottingham Forest to win the second ball and break quickly. What I find fascinating about Nottingham Forest defensively is when the opponents manage to break through the first and second line of press, their players don't hurry back and try and defend. They're confident enough that their back four will deal with the situation, but this is for a purpose because it allows Nottingham Forest to have more players in advanced positions to receive the ball on the half turn, and that's why they attack so quickly. Nottingham Forest, alongside Bournemouth, ranked top for the most direct and quickest attacks in the Premier League this season. Now, when they do eventually win possession, Nottingham Forest have become one of the most captivating teams when they're attacking. Direct, fluid, and fast. It's like dashing red arrows getting forward. Nuno has given the freedom to players to attack in numbers. Nottingham Forest often take a direct approach in their build-up play, frequently opting for long balls, targeting Chris Wood, who can use his physicality, his strength, and his link-up play to bring others into the game. Rather than building up through short passes like we're often seeing in the Premier League this season, Forest's strategy aims to bypass the midfield and immediately create pressure on the opposition's backline. They do this by being disciplined enough to invite the opposition onto them before breaking freely and attacking the space they've created. And just like I mentioned earlier, the wingers are allowed to remain ahead of the ball, so they have at least 4 players driving forwards and attacking the opponents. And what you'll often see as soon as they win back possession is going to a back three. Often one of their defensive midfielders will tuck into the backline. This allows the fullbacks to widen the pitch, creating more passing angles and creating more space centrally for their players to get into dangerous areas. This also gives them more options to progress the ball forwards, dismantling the opposition's backline, but also helping them maintain fluidity in their play. Now, what goes incredibly unnoticed is the amount of technical and tactical work this takes. Now, because of that technical quality, but also the tactical implications from Nuno, this fluidity has created new dynamics for Nottingham Forest's attacking style. It allows them to create new solutions and ways of beating the opposition's press. Nuno has built an extraordinary culture at Nottingham Forest and allowed players to thrive. This isn't something he's just fell upon. This is something that he's created by methods. But like I mentioned earlier, behind every man, there's a beautiful woman, but also a talented squad. And you can't win games without a goal scorer, right? First up, Chris Wood. Chris Wood is a player that's certainly done the hard yards, but it looks like he's thriving at Nottingham Forest, having scored 17 goals in the opening 24 Premier League games after spells at Newcastle United, Burnley, Leicester, Leeds, West Brom, Millwall, and a few other clubs. It's fair to say he's had his fair share of clubs, but it looks like he's eventually hit home with Nottingham Forest. Chris Wood's shot location identifies everything he's brought to this Nottingham Forest side: a box presence. Having scored 23 goals from an XG of just 16, he's been incredible in the Premier League this season. Now, behind every great goal scorer, there's always the providers. Welcome spring chickens Callum Hudson-Odoi and Anthony Elanga. Now, both have had similar upbringings. Callum Hudson-Odoi came through the tremendous Chelsea academy, and Anthony Elanga came through the tremendous Man United academy, but both found opportunities hard to come by in the first team. After a loan spell at Leverkusen, Hudson-Odoi was picked up by Nottingham Forest for just £3 million, whilst Elanga was picked up for just £15 million. And these two boys show that it's not how much you spend, it's where you spend. Both providing frightening capabilities in transitions with excellent dribbling ability and progressive carries. They've both contributed to Nottingham Forest being one of the most sharpest, devastating teams in the final third. Anthony Elanga has built up a unique combination with Chris Wood and already has 8 assists to his name, and 3 of those coming in a game against Brighton. Now, also behind every good attack, there's also a solid defense. Welcome the Brazilian superstar Murillo. Murillo was signed from Corinthians in the Brazilian league for just £10 million, and he's took to the Premier League like a duck on water and grabbed all the headlines and attention from the bigger clubs. Now, in my opinion, I want Murillo to stay at Nottingham Forest. If they do manage, and I think they will manage to qualify for European football, there's absolutely no reason why Murillo would want to leave. Bringing sturdiness, quality on the ball with good acceleration pace and a bulldog-like approach, Murillo has been fundamental in helping Forest keep all those clean sheets. Now, behind every good centre-back, there's also a partner in crime. Welcome Nikola Milenkovic. Milenkovic started out his career at Partizan before moving to Fiorentina in the Serie A, where he spent 7 years before eventually finding himself in Nottingham Forest. He's built up an incredible partnership with Murillo, comfortable in possession, an exceptional duel winner, and he brings a big presence aerially. You thought I was done there, didn't you? I can't do a Nottingham Forest video without talking about Morgan Gibbs-White. Captain fantastic, the offensive orchestrator. Morgan Gibbs-White is the cog of this Nottingham Forest team with relentless energy, pace and strength. He's a ball carrier, he's got good vision, he's got a key eye for a pass, and certainly plays a big role in this direct, dynamic approach from Nottingham Forest. He's got a unique profile, and Nottingham Forest are certainly lucky to have a player like Morgan Gibbs-White. Nottingham Forest have certainly been one of the success stories of the Premier League this season, and me for one hopes it doesn't slow down anytime soon. I'm a firm believer that you finish where you do on merit, and Nottingham Forest certainly deserve UEFA Champions League football. But look, if you've enjoyed this video, please stick around, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because there's going to be plenty more. I want to do a lot more on Nottingham Forest because I just find them fascinating. So if you are a Nottingham Forest fan and you want to see a bit more, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I just want to say I appreciate you sticking around because time is precious. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. Good luck for the rest of the season. Up the Forest.